Jason, how pleased have you been with their effort the first week here of practice?
It's always, you're always wanting to make sure effort's there in every play. I mean, there's going to be some mistakes as we install and we get through some things and we see some things from our offense that maybe we didn't always go over on the board or get a chance to walk through. So you work through some of those things, but you expect effort on every single play, and effort obviously isn't just during the play, it's after the play also, effort in terms of getting to the ball, get a touch on the ball, and then also, be encouragement afterwards. We want to talk about encouraging your teammates with some enthusiasm after the play too.
Did you feel like you made a lot of progress during the spring as far as improving their run defense, improving their playing together? Because you have a lot of guys back.
Yeah, definitely. You got a number of starters, a number of guys that played a lot of reps a year ago. It's also guys who played a lot of reps that, didn't fare too well. So you're really trying to work through some of the details and situations and working through situations. The nice part now, you're talking about situations where in the spring, you're really talking install. Just getting guys lined up and make sure they're in the right gap or got their eyes in the right spot or working off their progression and coverage and things like that. And so now you're kind of over the summer and now you're talking about situations and preparing them for those situations.
Brian touched on the fact that you guys kind of molded what they are. Coming in a new situation, what did you assess for what you have to work with?
One of the first things we did is just sit down and I just watched the game from play one, season one, first game all the way through, and I just kind of wanted to watch personnel a little bit. Like I said, you got a chance to see guys that played a lot of reps a year ago and just kind of see where there might have been some things or what guys might have done well and where we can help them or what points of emphasis we need to make on defense so that we can improve and take small strides in the spring and identify those. And then as we watch guys move and guys in the weight room, try to find ways to put them in situations to be successful. I just always believe that. I took that from my cousin a number of years ago as an offensive coach, FTS, feed the studs. And so as a defense mentality too, it's like, hey, let's get our best players in the best position where they can make the best plays for this defense.
And that being said, you have some studs, don't you?
Yeah, we got a lot. Well, we got great kids. I say that all the time. I mean, there's a lot of good teams. I've been fortunate enough to be on some great teams, won a championship with a lot of great dudes. I mean, it really was. And that's the one thing I've noticed more than anything. I came in here, you always worry a little bit about that. What kind of attitudes, negative energy you might see. But we have a lot of great kids. They're eager. They want to be successful. They want to be successful in life. They want to be successful in the weight room. They want to be successful on the football field. So that part of it's been really, really nice. They've been eager and very coachable. And that's the thing that's been very, very appreciative as a staff, for sure.
You have 11 guys out there on defense, but how important is that front four in your scheme?
Oh, it's always important in any scheme. If you don't have guys up front, I would say if you can't hold up on block and get to the quarterback, or if you don't have guys that can cover, it's a long day. So those are the critical parts, definitely the D-line and the secondary, and then more than anything, it's just developing depth. Obviously, guys are going to talk about Knighton and Malik and stuff, things up front, but it's really establishing depth. You're a play away from your next guy being up there and those types of things. But establishing depth, making sure those guys are getting better, and the same thing in the secondary. It's in the spring we were pretty thin there in terms of the bodies that we had, but we've gotten some gotten guys healthy. We've been able to practice then in the last 4 days and trying to really improve and get some depth and get some competition, make sure the best guys are playing.
What's important to you when you evaluate those defensive linemen?
We always talk about pad level, hands, and twitch. You got to play with low pad level. You can't play high. You got to have great hands, heavy hands. Boxer mentality, and then twitch. You got to have some twitch, be able to move. You just can't be guys that are stuck in sand all day and not move. So those are the three things we're definitely looking for.
The characteristics, we're not looking for obviously scheme or anything like that, but what's a characteristic that you want your defense to be known for?
Just playing with great effort, honestly, great effort. Seeing guys fly to the football, being in position. We talk don't just run to run, pursue with purpose. It's one thing just tackling the ball, and I always associate you go watch your kids play soccer that first time. You got about 11 people just around the ball, wherever the ball's at, and so the ball's there, that's what we got to get to, but it's important to make sure you pursue with purpose, proper angles, keeping the ball on the proper shoulder, and making sure we're in position. If somebody misses, we got another guy right there to make a play.
Do you consider yourself, how would you characterize your style? Ultra aggressive, pick your spots?
I want to be fundamentally sound. Obviously, we're going to teach fundamentals right away in terms of whether it's getting off of blocks, taking on a block, movements, back pedal, all those things, any of your positional movements, we want to make sure we're fundamentally sound. We want to make from a schematic standpoint, we're fundamentally sound. We're putting our kids in situations to be successful, identifying those things. And then fundamental finishers also. We got to finish at the football, get a tag, get an effort, fundamental tackle, make sure we're tackling properly. And then at the same time, finishing, that focus part. We dropped some interceptions. I was teasing some guys. We don't want to lead the country in dropped interceptions. So we got to make sure that end piece, we're focused, we're finishing with the ball in our hands.
And how does all these specific drills work into what you're trying to do, and then to do it with pace where you guys are going at it?
Yeah, I mean, that's nice with Coach Hill. When you go against a tempo offense, you're preparing yourself for tempo. Through chaos, we got to find comfort. Something I've said as a defense, obviously as a high tempo offense, you want to make sure you find them on their heels and you're striking quick and taking plays in big chunks. So through the chaos, you got to find comfort, and we're able to get that and make sure we're focused and doing our job. And by jumping around, bouncing around, we've been able to get that. Like I said, I mean, we're heavy team early, back to Indy, heavy team, different situations and things like that, which has been good.